So I was talking to this 20-year-old guy who is now currently reading the game, and he's trying to figure out how to bring more girls into his life. He had a relationship since he was 18 and a half years old. A year and a half they were together. They recently broke up, and now him and a few of his buddies are all reading the game, and they're trying to figure out game. They're trying to figure out what they should do, what strategies they should use. I asked them, do you know what night game is? Do you know what day game is? Do you know any of these basic things? And he had no idea, but he's reading. He didn't even know what RSD was. And so I was talking to him, and I discovered that him and a couple of his buddies are all trying to figure it out themselves. It's like they're trying to reinvent the wheel somehow. And it's a huge problem in society these days where you don't have young men don't have really this older, wiser men to impart knowledge down. What they do is they get on the internet and they try to figure it out for themselves. And apparently two of his friends are trying to become dating coaches now. It's just mind blows just blows my mind that you got these guys that have no idea what they're talking about, and now they're just trying to be coaches. It's just fraudulent on the next level. And I suggested to him, look, when you finish the game, fair enough, it's a nice little story, but it's kind of useless. There's two books, really. There's The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi and David Deida's Way of the Superior Man. You just read those two. That's it. It's real simple. And so this video is 5 lessons from The Way of the Superior Man. I'll do The Rational Male later. And hypergamy and all of the negative stuff, but this is 5 lessons pretty much that David Deida talks about in his book, and I'm going to go into that. But before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit novel dating advice for the modern man. My book's in the description, and if you want some one-on-one coaching with me, not a fraudulent 20-year-old that doesn't know what they're talking about, you could fill out the form and get some coaching with me. I focus on cold approach. But yeah, so let's just get straight into these rules. Number one, don't change your mind for her. So women often will challenge you and say, no, we should do it this way, or what about this, what about that? Don't change your mind. Stick to your guns. Sure, if she has some new information, sure, listen to the new information, and if that new information doesn't change your mind, stick to your guns. Don't placate to women, because that's not what they actually want. They might sound like they want you to change your mind and change what you're doing, but then afterwards they will lose respect for you. If you think that you're doing the right thing, you are making the right decision for both of you, stick to your guns. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. It doesn't matter. Stick to your guns. This is very important. This isn't a joke. This is very fucking serious. If she tries to give you some stupid random ideas, like you're trying to get somewhere and she says, let's go left and let's go right, let's go the back streets to try and get to the place. No, we're going my way. Stick to your guns. This is very important. And if you don't, well, you are bad for society, and she's going to lose respect for you as well. And you're going to lose respect for yourself. 2, now you will never change her. So if she is on this massive roller coaster, she's going up and down and she's emotional, and myself, I tend to date a lot of extremely feminine girls. This is like the polarity, male and feminine polarity. I tend to date a lot of feminine girls. And some of them are a little bit on the cusp of becoming neurotic, where they're like, scared of everything and neurotic and ups and downs. You're not going to change her. You're just going to have to enjoy the ride. And that is the second lesson that David Deida puts in his book. I think it's all-encompassing. Things are not going to change. You have to deal with this continuously. You cannot solve this problem. And men out there, they think very rationally. And they think, what if I change this? I can solve this problem and then move on. This is the male way of thinking. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to change her. 3, There's a quote in the book. I wrote it down here. I'm not sure if I wrote it correctly. Live life as if your father is dead. I don't know if you've read the book out there. Leave a comment. Let me know. I believe that this is a correct quote. Live life as if your father is dead, which is pretty much saying there's no backup plan. Don't live as if, okay, daddy's going to, I need daddy's approval, or if anything goes wrong, I've got, I can go stay with daddy, or, I've got this person who's there to clean up after me, fix my problems, and make sure that I don't mess anything up moving forward. If you live life as if you don't have a father, which means that you have to figure it out yourself, all the mistakes you need to own yourself, that is the best way to live. And I guess that is basically what the lesson is. Live life like your father is not there to clean up your mess, to fix your problems, advise you, figure it out yourself, and pay the consequences as they come. Now, 4. Well, you must create your own life success and happiness. No one can live life for you. Well, that's pretty much self-explanatory. I got that out of the book myself. That's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm not even going to talk about that one. 5. But I dare say the people who just stick to their guns, they're very polarizing, and not just with the audience, but everybody else. I would rather be loved by a small percentage of the audience and hated by a small percentage than just an average, just vanilla, and people are just a little bit, they don't really care either way about you. This is probably the best way to live your life, and it also is like you don't care what people think. Another facet of what he could be meaning in the book by this is that you should also polarize, as in be more the masculine, or depend on where you are. There's an interesting part in the book where he talks about do you, even as a man, do you want to ravage someone else? Do you want to be on someone else, as in like, do you want to be the masculine ravaging a woman? Or do you want to... I don't know how to explain it, but you got someone of the same body, just the same strength as you, and I don't know, like sleep with someone. I think he's really talking about sex here. I think that's kind of gay, 2 gay guys of the same strength sleeping with each other. Or do you want to be the feminine and have someone else pin you down? And he actually talks about that in the book. And figure out what you want to be. Polarize yourself. Where are you on that spectrum, and make your decision. And be honest with who you are and what you want. This is a very... this is some of the things that he talks about in this book make men very uncomfortable, and so I think that's why this book is so important. So I've got another one here actually. Edge. He talks about the edge. The edge, in his opinion, is the edge is where your ability hits the point where you don't have much. It's the flow state point where you're just outside of your comfort range of ability, where it starts to become where you're almost out. You don't have the skills to... How can I describe this last bit? This is actually 6, but it's kind of what the flow state point is, where you are so... It's not so easy that you can switch off. Like just say you're driving from home to work in the morning, and sometimes you forget how you got to work. I know you know that feeling where you get there and you're like, I can't really remember how I got here. I just was automated because it was so easy. You just were on autopilot. It was far within your ability. Then on the other side, there's points where things are so difficult for you to handle that it's very stressful, and you're just stressed the whole time, and you're making mistakes all the time. There's a perfect point in between where you are right at the edge of your ability, which is, he calls it the edge in the book, but it is really flow state. And the flow state is just outside your ability level, where you are hyper aware, hyper focused, and that is also the point where some people, when you meditate, it's like the third eye comes up. This is also a part of the flow state, where you are right on the edge of your ability, if that makes any sense to you guys. And he was saying in the book, live just past your edge. Don't live within your comfort zone. I could have made it more simple by just explaining, just live within your comfort. Don't live within your comfort zone. Live just past your edge and try to push yourself every day to get the most out of life. And I think that's a great message. Pretty basic stuff. I think everybody knows that anyway. But there's a quote here that I actually wrote down from the book just as a bonus. It is simply true that each man has his limit, his capability, his growth, and his destiny. He shouldn't pretend he's more enlightened than he is, nor should he stop short of his actual edge. Edge, flow state, don't live in your comfort zone. The more a man is playing at his real edge, the more valuable he is and good company to other men. The more he can be trusted to be authentic and fully present. Being present also is a form of meditation, which is also in line with hitting your edge and the flow state. They're all kind of in line. Where a man's edge is located is less important than whether he is actually living his edge in truth, rather than being lazy or deluded. And I think that's very important, to be honest as to where you are. Where are you? Where are you at? Are you really, for instance with this channel, are you really getting success with women, or are you deluding yourself? Are you living at your edge? Are you actually putting the time and effort in to getting the most out of your dating life? Are you doing that, or are you lying to yourself and other men, and therefore other men cannot respect you because you're being fraudulent with your true ability and what you're getting out of your dating life? Ask yourself that. And if you're not, well, you can fill out the form in the description and do some coaching with me. I'll be doing boot camps very soon, and we can at least put a good dent at putting you right at your edge, get you right in your flow state, and try to improve your dating life, because that's something that I actually can do, and I'm not bullshitting you. So if you like this video, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.